Okay, sit down. All right. So I'm gonna read to y'all this book, and I want y'all to know to figure out what happens in the beginning and how the girl she's more confident towards the end. So it's all about the mood and the feelings. No. All right. So let me start out first. What's a pilgrim? Adrian.
A person a pilgrim is a person that celebrates Thanksgiving with Indians.
Yeah. Yeah. Michael?
Pilgrims are the people who celebrate Thanksgiving, and they have black suits and they eat turkey.
Well, not all of them.
Black hats.
Well, it's not just about Thanksgiving. Santiago?
They're like settlers.
Settlers? Yeah?
The people from England that found America, like Christopher Columbus.
Okay, yeah. All right, so yeah, Roland is right. There are people that migrate from England to here to have a better life, to have more food, and yeah. So I'm gonna start. This is the book. It's called Molly's Pilgrim by Barbara Cohen, and it's like a girl with pumpkins.
That is close to Halloween.
Halloween.
Just pumpkins.
What is that supposed to mean?
What do you mean?
That she has a pumpkin.
All right, I'm gonna read to y'all the back first, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what do y'all think it's gonna be about.
That's the summary.
Yeah, the summary. Yeah. It says Molly doesn't think she has much to be grateful for as her first American Thanksgiving draws near. Her classmates giggle at her imperfect English and make fun of her Russian clothes. Molly's mother only makes things worse when she helps with a class Thanksgiving project by making a little doll that looks more like a Russian refugee than a New England pilgrim. But that tiny pilgrim could be exactly what Molly needs to find a place for herself in America.
I think I know what it's all about.
Well, let's find out and see what it's going to be about.
Can I say it?
No, don't spoil it. Yeah, don't spoil it. All right. It says, I didn't like the school in Winter Hill. In Winter Hill, they laughed at me. Elizabeth laughed most of all. So, as y'all can tell, she's like the little girl. She's really sad because nobody likes her and they make fun of her.
Even the boys?
Yeah, even the boys. Everybody makes fun of her.
Why does it say that she has a big nose?
It says, I never raised my hand to answer a question, but when Miss Stickley called on me, I had to say something. My English wasn't perfect yet, so Elizabeth always giggled at whatever I said. Miss Stickley would stare at her, and then she'd shut up. But later in the schoolyard, she'd say, You talk funny, Molly. You look funny, Molly. And then she'd sing a song. Jolly Molly, your eyes are awfully small. Jolly Molly, your nose is awfully tall. Hilda and Kitty would sing the song too, and then sometimes even Faye and Emma. They all admired Elizabeth. She brought peppermint sticks to school and handed them out to her friends at recess. All right, so do y'all think that people like her?
No. Just her mom. Just her mom.
Just her mom?
And her dad.
Did y'all like the song? Okay. One day Elizabeth and Hilda followed me halfway home singing the terrible song. Jolly Molly, your eyes are awfully small. Jolly Molly, your nose is awfully tall. I started to run. Why do you think she ran?
Because she hated the song.
She hated the song? Yeah? They're being mean?
That's what I do sometimes when somebody tries to be funny.
You run?
In my old school, sometimes I just take my home.
Okay. When I got home to our apartment, I burst into tears. It was all right. I could cry in front of my mother. She put her arms around me. I leaned my head against her chest. She felt like a big, soft cushion. Shaking Kate, what's the matter? She asked. My mother didn't speak much English. She talked to me in Yiddish. Mama, let's go back to New York City, I said. In this 3rd grade, there aren't any other Jewish children. I don't talk like the other girls. They make fun of me. I hate going to school.
Jews.
It's
What type of
like a religion.
Yeah.
Those people used to come over here because they used to fight them.
Yeah.
They were
That's World War something. Nazi.
Hey, I forgot to tell y'all, there's some words that are in this story that's in your new words, your vocab list.
Taunted.
Pilgrim.
Taunted Pilgrim.
Alright, yeah. Okay. It says, Oi, Malkele, Mama said. We can't go back to New York City. In New York, Papa had to work in a factory. We had to live in a poor, tenanted house. Here in Winter Hill, Papa had a good job in Mr. Brodsky's store downstairs, and Mr. Brodsky even let us live in this nice apartment.
So she does have a dad
She does have a dad, but dad's working.
all night. Every day they get the money.
Yeah. It says, well, then let's go back to Goraduk, I suggested. We only came to this country last winter. I bet we could still get to our old house back. If the Cossacks haven't burned it down, Mama snapped. They burned the synagogue one day. One day, who knows? They would have burned us. May they grow like onions with their heads in the ground. So, what's the reason that they moved?
Because they didn't have they like needed money to like pay the rent, pay their bills.
But what did I just say? Why?
Because they were burning the house down.
Yeah?
Some other people might burn the house down.
They burned the house down. Yeah. I had known all along we couldn't go back to Russia. In Goraduk, Jewish girls didn't get to go to school at all, Mama went on. They have to grow up ignorant, like donkeys. I'll go to your school. I'll talk to the teacher. She'll make those Sakidunaks stop teasing you. No, Mama, no, I interrupted quickly. You don't have to do that. I didn't want Miss Stickley or Elizabeth to see Mama. She didn't talk like the other mothers. She hardly talked English at all. She didn't look like them either. It'll be all right, I said. I'll talk to Miss Stickley myself. Yeah?
If they British, do British people speak English? Yes, they do.
They do, but it just depends what part they live in, because there's like some other language that they
They
talk.
talk weird. They talk English, but they talk weird.
Yeah. Yeah?
I thought Mexican.
Yeah. Yeah? Brian? Yeah, they do. All right. Is everybody paying attention?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. It says, but of course I didn't. I dragged myself back to that school day after day. Nothing changed, but I didn't say another word about it to Mama.
What does she mean that all those speak English like that?
It's cause you know how like if you're talking English, there's some like words that you don't like understand when people say it.
Like Chris, mom? You don't know who Chris is.
It's just cause the mom, she has like another word of saying things, so you might not be able to communicate with each another. Yeah.
You gotta tell them.
You have a donut
Like
us?
and then just like
His
a
mom,
dude from
she can't speak English
from
and
China.
like, she's from Florida and she
No,
and she
he's
like
from China. But he's like by our house.
Hey guys, are y'all listening to Markenzie? He has a good story.
yeah, every time I have to say something to her, Chris will come in and say it in I forgot what they were.
Yeah. It just all depends on like where a person's from, you know? Alright. It says that one day in November, during reading, Miss Stickley said, open your books to page 132. It was a new story. I liked it when we started a new story. You may begin, Molly, Miss Stickley said. I looked at the title. I shook my head. Miss Stickley, I said, I don't know that word. It's a hard word, Molly, Miss Stickley said, especially if you haven't seen it before. Who can tell Molly what word it is? Elizabeth. Several hands shot up. Miss Stickley called on Elizabeth. Thanksgiving, she announced, tossing her long black horseshoe curls. I thought everybody knew that. Thanksgiving, I repeated. Thanksgiving? What's Thanksgiving? Elizabeth snorted. You don't even know what Thanksgiving is? I guess you people don't celebrate American holidays. Miss Stickley ignored Elizabeth. The story will explain the word, Molly, she said to me. Go ahead, start reading. All right, so different cultures.
It's talking about different cultures.
I read 3 sentences. I didn't stumble over any more words. Then Miss Stickley told Arthur to read. We took turns. It was a good story. It was about the Pilgrims and how they started the holiday of Thanksgiving. I had never heard of Pilgrims before. Now, children, Miss Stickley said when the reading lesson was over, I'm tired of decorating the room with paper turkeys and paper pumpkins every Thanksgiving. I thought it would be fun to do something different this year, she pointed to the sand table at the back of the room. It had stood empty since September. We'll make a model of the Pilgrim Village at Plymouth, Massachusetts, celebrating the first Thanksgiving. She sounded excited. We'll make the houses and the church here in school, but I want you to make the people at home. You can make dolls out of clothespins. The boys can make Indians and the girls can make pilgrims. Her eyes moved from one face to another. If you sit in row 1, 2, or 3, make a woman. If you sit in row 4, 5, or 6, make a man. I sat in row 2. I had to make a pilgrim woman. Bring your dolls tomorrow, Miss Stickley said. Then I'll show you how to make the houses out of cardboard. So do you think that Molly's gonna make like a real pilgrim, like the usual ones? No?
She's gonna make it like a doll kind.
Yeah?
So people put pumpkins on Thanksgiving. I thought that was just on Halloween.
Well, there's pumpkin pies.
Pumpkin pie.
You can eat that at Thanksgiving. Sit up. Sit up. Sit up.
Miss,
Yeah?
in like in Thanksgiving, do some programs, do they like used to eat with Indians?
Yeah. That's how it all started. Alright, it says, when I got home, Mama said to me, just like always, No, Shine Kate, do you have any homework? I need a clothespin, I said. A clothespin? What kind of homework is a clothespin? I had to make a doll out of it, a pilgrim doll. Mama frowned. No, Malkeke, what's a pilgrim? I searched for the words to explain pilgrim to Mama. Pilgrim came to this country from the other side, I said. Like us, Mama said. That was true. They came for religious freedom, I added. They came so they could worship God as they pleased. Mama's eyes lit up. She seemed to understand. Do you have any other homework? She asked. Yes, I said. I have 10 arithmetic problems. They're hard. Do them, she said. And then go out to play. I'll make the doll for you. I'll make it tonight. It'll be ready for you just in the morning. Just make sure it's a girl doll, I said. Naturally, Mama replied. Who ever heard of a boy doll? I didn't bother to explain. So, reading this, why do you think that the mom's eyes lit up?
Oh, because she knew what a pilgrim was.
She knew what a pilgrim was, right?
When she first said God, her eyes just lit up.
So, Molly's mom is a pilgrim, right?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. The next morning when I sat down at the table for breakfast, the doll was at my place. Maybe she had started out as a clothespin, but you never have known it to look at her. Mama had covered the clothespin with cloth and stuffing. She had made hair out of dark brown yarn, and she'd embroidered eyes, a nose, and a mouth on the face. She had dressed the doll in a long full red skirt, tiny black felt boots, and a bright yellow high-necked blouse. She had covered the yarn hair with a yellow kerchief embroidered with her red flowers. She's gorgeous, Mama, I managed to murmur. Mama smiled, satisfied. But, Mama, I added slowly, she doesn't look like the pilgrim woman in the picture in my reading book. No? Mama said. She looks like you in that photograph you have that was taken when you were a girl. Ooh. Mama's smile turned into a laugh. Of course, I did that on purpose. You did, Mama? Why? What's a pilgrim, Shine Kate? Mama asked. A pilgrim is someone who came here from the other side to find freedom. That's me, Molly. I'm a pilgrim. I was sure there was something wrong with what Mama was saying. She was not the kind of pilgrim Miss Stickley or the reading book had been talking about. But it was too late to make another doll now. All I could do was take the only one I had to school with me. So, do you think that Molly was satisfied about the doll?
No.
No. Most of the dolls were out on the desk. I had carried mine in a little paper bag. I put it inside my desk without even taking it out of the bag. The bell hadn't rung yet. Elizabeth and Hilda were walking up and down the aisles, pointing to the dolls and whispering when they came to my desk. Elizabeth said in a low voice, "Miss Stickley's going to be mad at you, Jolly Molly. She doesn't like people who don't do their homework." "I did it," I muttered. "Well then, let's see it." I shook my head. "You didn't do it," Elizabeth taunted. You didn't. I opened the desk and took it out of the paper bag. I closed the desk and set the bag on top. Slowly I pulled out the doll. "Oh, my goodness," Elizabeth sighed. "How can anyone be as dumb as you, Jolly Molly? That's not a pilgrim. Miss Stickley's going to be really mad at you. Miss Stickley's going to get you this time." My face felt hot as fire. I looked down at my desktop. The bell rang. Elizabeth and Hilda rushed to their seats. I shoved the doll back into my desk.
She looks weird.
She looks weird.
I found 2 vocabulary words of taunted and pilgrim.
Exactly. That's good. All right. After morning exercises, Miss Stickley began to walk around the room, just as Elizabeth had. She looked at each of the dolls. "Why, Michael, what a magnificent headdress. Where did you find so many feathers?" "Sally, she's lovely. Such an interesting face. Such beautiful gray skin, Elizabeth. Yours is very rich, Pilgrim." "I think she's the best so far," Elizabeth said. "Well, she's very good," Miss Stickley allowed. "So what do you think Miss Stickley's going to say about Molly's Pilgrim?"
It might be like on the summary. She said she likes it, but like the dress is not kind of like the pilgrim.
All right, so this is what it looks like. That's her doll.
That's her mom.
Well, that's the mom, but that's the doll.
That's the doll.
Yeah. Then Miss Stickley came to me. Without looking up, I pulled my doll out of the desk. I heard Elizabeth laugh out loud. "My goodness, Molly," she cried. "That's not a pilgrim. That's some Russian or Polish person. What does a person like that have to do with pilgrims?" "She's very beautiful," Miss Stickley said. Perhaps Molly just didn't understand. I looked up at Miss Stickley. "Mama said," I began. Elizabeth giggled again. Miss Stickley put her hands on my shoulder. "Tell me what your mama said, Molly." "This doll is just like Mama," I explained slowly. "Mama came to America for religious freedom, too. Mama said she's a pilgrim." Elizabeth hooted. She wasn't the only one. I'll show you the picture. Here's again. Okay. Okay. Miss Stickley marched up to the front of the room. She turned and faced the class. "Listen to me, Elizabeth," she said in a loud voice. "Listen to me, all of you. Molly's mother is a pilgrim. She's a modern pilgrim. She came here just like the pilgrims long ago, so she could worship God in her own way, in peace and freedom." Miss Stickley stared at Elizabeth. "Elizabeth, do you know when the pilgrims got the idea for Thanksgiving?" "They just thought of it, Miss Stickley," Elizabeth said. "No, Elizabeth," Miss Stickley replied. "They read in the Bible about the Jewish harvest holiday of Tabernacles. I knew that holiday. We called it Sukkoth." Miss Stickley was still talking. "The pilgrims got the idea for Thanksgiving from Jews, like Molly and her mama." She marched down the aisle to my desk again. "May I have your doll for a while, Molly?" "Sure," I said. "I'm going to put this beautiful doll on my desk," Miss Stickley announced, "where everyone can see it all the time. It will remind us that pilgrims are still coming to America." She smiled at me. "I'd like to meet your mama, Molly. Please ask her to come to see me one day after school."
I heard more than
You heard it? Good. So, does Miss Stickley like Mama? Yeah? Do you think that she has, like, an interesting story, that's why she wants to meet her? Okay, it says, "Your doll is the most beautiful, Molly," Emma said. Emma sat next to me. "Your doll is the most beautiful one of all." I nodded. "Yes," I said. "I know." I decided if Miss Stickley actually invited her, it was all right for Mama to come to school. I decided something else too. I decided it takes all kinds of pilgrims to make a Thanksgiving. So that's the end of the story. So what did y'all think? Yeah? It was good? Mackenzie?
It was interesting.
Interesting? So, okay, remember that question that I asked you in the beginning? How does she change? From sad to happy? Why was she sad?
Because the girl teased her.
Because people make fun of her. And then how did she change? Like, what caused her to be more...
Like her, the teacher said, like her doll was beautiful, and some other kind of words.
So do you think by the doll mystically seeing that it was beautiful, do you think that made her be more confident about who she is and about where she was born and everything?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. So any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so let's go back to our desk now. And we're going to do a little crafty project. Michael, get up.
Already done with the story?
Yeah?
Since when? Since when?
What's up? No. Hey guys, let's go back to our desks. Catalina, are you the one that has to pass my papers? Let's let her do. Okay, so you're gonna give one to each person. Let me get one. Okay. Okay, so what Catalina is doing right now, she's passing out construction paper. We're gonna make a turkey. Hold on. Did you get one for yourself? Yeah. I don't know. Are we?
Were some pilgrims black, like the skin color?
Yeah. There was all kinds of pilgrims. Okay, all eyes on me. You didn't get one? Guys, are y'all paying attention? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to make a turkey out of your hand. So, with your hand. Okay, guys. Okay, so y'all are going to trace your hand, and we're going to make a turkey out of it, so... You see what we're doing? Yeah. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it good enough so y'all can write on it. No, don't. Use a pencil. What's up? You don't have a pencil?
Carlos. You can't even see my hand.
That's good enough.
Good. It has wrinkles.
That's good. Make sure you close it.
I'm bad at this. I always wanted to try. How you close it?
Just make it round at the bottom.
I got it.
Are you guys done?
No, I'm not that bad. I need to
Close it, Susie. Close it.
What do you mean close it?
Close the bottom. Like, make it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you said okay?
No.
She's Latin American. Everybody is.
How are y'all doing?
I don't know how to. I am not doing good at this.
Are we?
You're not?
What's the color?
No. Not yet.
I'm not good at drawing.
Make sure you spread out your fingers so you can write on it. All right, and if you're done with your tracing, go ahead and cut it out.
Put out what?
The hand.
Cut out?
Cut it out.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Serious?
Super serious. What's up?
Do we draw the leg? Oh yeah.
No, we're just going to close it. Yeah.
I don't have scissors.
You don't have scissors? Miss Butcher, do you have any more scissors for Adrian?
There should be some there.
I see where you.
No.
When you're done, if you borrowed scissors from me, you need to give them back to me when you're done.